Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Chris Hill, trying to do my testimony for God for when He called me about a year ago. Uh, yeah, guess I could start like this. It all started when I heard about this Planet X, Nibiru, you know, about this planet that's 10 times bigger than Earth is, that's, headed right for us, and it's coming from the direction where the sun is at, so, we can't really see it. Uh, yeah, as I was like looking this up and just being obsessed with it, uh, one morning I was at my friend's house and we were up on his roof like 5 a.m., trying to catch the the sunrise, and, trying to see maybe if we can get a little glimpse of it. um, he ended up getting down off the roof, and I looked up in the sky, like right above me, and it was a clear sky, clear as day, and this cloud started forming out of nowhere right on top of me. Not too close, but like it looked close to me, but it was still way up there. But it started slowly falling down. It was falling down and starting to get more detailed and you know, uh, and then it started, like, I don't know, spreading, and I noticed that it was like starting to shape. And as it was shaping, it shaped into the face and the head of Jesus Christ. I sat there in awe, like I didn't know what to do, what to say. I was just stunned, I was just stunned staring at it, and I couldn't believe my eyes. So I got out my phone. And I started recording the cloud, and it was so detailed. It had the long hair. He had the thorns, the little thorn hat. He had pupils, his eyes, the nose, mouth, everything, and he was looking right at me, and I couldn't believe it. I just started recording, and I had to say out loud so the video camera can hear me. I was like, is that Jesus? And it was Jesus, and he was calling me. He was calling me to change my life. He was calling me to better myself. He was calling me. I didn't know what for at the moment, at the time. Anyways, I stayed up there on that roof for like 20 minutes. You know what I mean? Just couldn't get down because I didn't want to leave. It was God. You know what I mean? It was God. I couldn't believe it. And at that time, I was at my bottom. I was at my lowest. You know what I mean? Addicted to meth, and I had my fiance. I had a kid with her. But a lot of things, a lot of bad things came from this drug. You know what I mean? I accused all my friends of, messing with my girl, but nothing that was proved, or nothing that I could prove or say. It was really the drug, delusions or whatever. I mean, fucks with your mind. Forgive me. Anyways, yeah, I lost my friends, my family. I lost my girl. I tried suicidal. I tried to cut my wrist. I was done. I was done with life. You know what I mean? And I just didn't know where my life went, because I grew up. You know what I mean? And I had dreams. I had goals, and I thought graduating high school, man, and you got it. But right after graduation of high school, man, everything just started tumbling down because I tried meth. It took over my life. It took over everything. Anyways, yeah, I feel like that's why he came. He came to show me hope. He came to show me that he was real, because I was calling on him because I had no one else to talk to no more. I didn't trust nobody. So I would go to churches, you know what I mean, and sit outside of it up against the wall, and I would close my eyes and I would just start talking to him, praying and asking for forgiveness for all of my sins, you know, because I was a pretty bad person, but at the same time, I never stopped trying to be a good person, a loving person. You know, I always tried to stay humble, you know, without even knowing about God really. You know, it was just my natural instinct. It was just who I was, who I am. I'm just I don't know, gentle person, you know what I mean? Loving person, understanding, not judgmental, you know? But I would cry by myself. I would just cry, and didn't know what to do, you know? And I remember I would feel wind blowing so hard against my body. Like, wouldn't even be windy, but it would just start blowing out of nowhere, and it's just like, it would make me feel so great. It made me feel so great, and you know, it would even make me wipe my tears away, you know. But still, I didn't know about God yet. But anyways, back to the roof, about seeing this cloud. Yes, I was up there for like 20 minutes just stunned and amazed, and didn't want to leave. I was just really smiling and happy. Then all of a sudden you see this another cloud. It comes and starts forming out of nowhere, out of the blue, just from the side of Jesus's head. You know, it comes and it connects with his, and it's still Jesus, but there's also a dragon, a very scary dragon, like one big ass head. Just forgive me. Big dragon. You know, his eyes were detailed. You can tell it was a dragon. He had his nose, you know, his mouth and full of teeth, and it had a big grin, like, you know, like the Joker, kind of like back here. And man, it was so scary. And I sat there and I recorded this for a while. I was like, I gotta, you know, show everybody this. I couldn't let it just be, you know, forget about it. Anyways, yeah. And at the time when I was recording it, I was thinking like, dang, what is it looks like the dragon is, his neck's wrapped around Jesus, kind of like, dude, back off, this is my son, you know what I mean? So I was like, is that God in Jesus? You know, I was really amazed. I you know, I always talked to God when I was young, and you know, I just never actually put him in my life, you know, till now, because of the truth. But anyways, this dragon, the cloud started coming at me. You know, it started slowly coming at me. As I was watching it, it looked like it was slowly coming at me, staring right into my eyes. You know, it was so scary. I had to jump off the roof. I jumped off the roof, you know, and I was done. But I couldn't believe what I got, and I took it inside, showed my friend, you know, and you know, he was pretty stunned too. He was like, wow, you know. He didn't know what to make of it. But yeah, I don't know, maybe a week later, all this week, you know, as I went home, you know, I started seeing things. Well, I was kind of led to a video about the third eye, the chakra. Yeah. Still to this day, I have no clue what it is. I got an idea. I got an idea of what it is. You know, I believe that the third eye is, you know, we all have it. We all have it in our foreheads. And please, I beg all of you, you know, whoever does see this video, do not, you know, test it out, or you know, don't go wander off. Don't go wandering off with curiosity, because it just may get you, I don't know, get you something you didn't want. uh, or thought that you were getting. Anyways, uh, I was staying up watching YouTube videos, and yeah, this somehow the third eye came up. I clicked on the video, and this guy was teaching me about the third eye. You know, it was him in a plain room with a background really colorful, you know, and he looked really happy. He looked really happy, but there was something, you know, as I was watching him and he was talking, you know, he was talking to me. Man, it was like he could see me, you know. It was, and I've always heard about the Illuminati and the all-seeing eye. You know, we all see that with the pyramid and stuff like that. Um, yeah, I don't know. I guess I let my curiosity get the best of me, you know. So I dug in. I dug in to see what this really was. Uh, but yeah, after a couple of those videos that I watched, you know, I started seeing like shadows. I started seeing shadows around my living room, outside. You know, I I started noticing like it was like imagine Predator invisible. You know what I mean, in the trees or something where he moves, like the air moves with it. That's the kind of things I was seeing. You know, it was really scary, and I thought I was being haunted, or I don't know. I remember, man, ever since this all happened, man, I've been just researching everything. I've been wanting to know what the heck this is, what the heck I'm going through, because I'm not the same. I'm not the same, and I'll never be the same. You know, I'm not schizophrenia. You know what I mean? I do have a history of drug addiction. You know, I'll always be an addict. You know, but I have bettered my life ever since God has called me. I see things differently. You know, I love more, and I cherish each moment the best I can. Uh, Everyone, all my neighbors and my girl, her family, my friends, everyone started noticing like I would stare at the sky. You know what I mean? I would stare at the sky, and not for a little bit. I mean, I would sit there for fucking two. Forgive me, Father. For like 2 hours. I would sit there for like 2 hours, man, maybe even longer. I don't know, but it was like I couldn't stop looking at the stars that I believe. You know what I mean? Because the coming of God's wrath, which is what I believe Planet X is. I believe Planet X, Nibiru, is true. It's real. It's the planet of the crossing. It's right now. Right now is the time to get ready. The time to get ourselves ready for Jesus to show up. Uh, but anyways, I would sit there, and all my neighbors, all my friends, my girl, her family, like, you know, they would notice me sitting there, and they'd just be like, what the fuck? What is he looking at? You know what I mean? Like, man, Chris has lost it. Chris lost it. You know, I didn't care. I didn't care anymore because honestly, I didn't trust nobody at the time, anyways. Uh, I had one big ass delusion in my mind, you know, that everyone was against me. Everyone that I knew that really truly wanted to help me, you know, I pushed everybody away because I thought they were against me, and they were talking about me behind my back, and you know, telling lies and stuff like that, you know, and I was just being myself, you know. uh Man, it was amazing how I used to be though. Like, anyways, I started, yeah, I started comparing Planet X, you know, and I started searching up God a little bit because of the cloud that I seen. I started showing people, like my grandmother, my sister. I showed my girl's family. I showed her a couple of my friends, when I showed my grandma, she lost her breath. She was like, she was like, and she started tearing up. And I was driving in the car with her, from a doctor's appointment, and I was just like, man, it really made effect on her. You know what I mean? It made her think about something really hard. And I guess she went through some kind of experience like I am right now, back in the day when she was younger. But she's seen it with her own two eyes, Jesus and a dragon right in front of me videotaping it with my phone. And yeah, we started talking about like revelations and stuff like that. And these things I didn't know. I never opened up the Bible. I never opened it up. I never started to read it. I have no clue what it is. I went through church my whole life. As a kid, I always fell asleep, you know what I mean? Or I didn't even want to be there, or I had no clue what the heck they were talking about, you know? But yeah, my grandma kind of like gave me the little head start, the little push, for me to start, you know? Um, we were talking about things like the rapture and stuff like that, and what it's going to be like in the end days, you know? And I was like, huh, it was very interesting. Uh, but yeah, she was really happy, scared. Uh, I don't know. She was like just a mixed emotion after I showed her this. For me, because I'm the one that's going through it. Uh, I showed my sister it, and I was all excited, and I was saying, I remember I think that the dragon was God, the Father, and he's his neck, because dragons have always been here since we can remember. I mean, like, that's a made up character that we know of. It's a made up creature, and fantasy or whatever. But why is it fantasy? Why have we come up with the idea? I mean, I started thinking, like, is God maybe a dragon? Is God maybe a dragon? And but I showed my sister the video, and she looked at it and she was like, Chris, that looks evil. She said that looks really scary. Like, that looks like the devil. And I was like, huh. Like, I looked at it, I was like, damn, like, maybe you're right. You know what I mean? Because that looked really too creepy. And Jesus didn't look too happy. He looked kind of upset with my life. You know what I mean? But it was like he was showing himself to me, so I can change, and do better, and maybe even be something great for him. That he needs right now in these end days. Because I believe we are in the end days. We are the last hours, man. He is soon to come. Um, but yeah, I started. I don't know. I was really into this third eye, and yeah, I started getting scared to even go outside, walk down the street, because I would start seeing these shadows, floating around like Predator or whatever like that. You couldn't see them, but you could see the air move, and I seen them. And a lot of these videos that you watch on YouTube can really mess with your mind, and I mean, a lot of them are lies. Don't get me wrong. A lot of the videos are deceitful. But whatever I'm going through is really supernatural. I was never like this. I was never how I am now. You know, I can conversate with people. I can goof around, and I can all the things that everyone else is doing. But now I can never do that, because I constantly know that he's watching me. I know he's watching me. I see him in the sky. I see him everywhere. I can hear him through people. People come and talk to me, and it's just like a highlight. You know what I mean? Like something they say, and it's just like kind of gets my attention, and I look at them weird, like they're not the person. that walked up like there's somebody else. Like God just took over for a second, you know what I mean? And I could feel his presence. I could feel his presence, man. So amazing. But yeah, I started getting interested in clouds, and I started videotaping a lot of clouds. And I started talking to him more often. And yeah, my neighbor Mari, she's the one that got me into Jesus because she's seen the depression and everything I was in, the hurt at the time, and she would always pray for me. She always prayed for me. She would ask me like, Chris, you want to pray? You know, and I would always be like, yeah, 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 please. Even though I had little faith, I didn't know who God was. I knew there was a God because I would always talk to him in my head. Or the reason why we're not, the reason why we'll be alone in a room, but you're never alone. You're not really alone. You got your thoughts and stuff. You're with somebody. You're with somebody, and I believe that's the Lord. I believe that's Christ, the Holy Spirit. That's the reason why we know right from wrong. You know what I mean? When you're about to do something bad, oh, am I gonna get in trouble for this? Am I gonna get in trouble for that? What if? You know what I mean? The reason why you think those thoughts, that's God. That is God. That's the good, because God is good. That's what he says. God is good. So whenever a friend is trying to, keep you from getting out of trouble, or even yourself, you're with some friends and you're about to do something bad, rob a store or fucking, hurt somebody, or I don't know, there's worse things out there. But the reason why we hear that voice in our head, like, don't do it, don't, it's not worth it. What if you get in trouble? What if you get caught? What if you get arrested? What if you get killed? That's God. That is God inside of us. You know, the bad, the temptation. The temptation of the flesh. The wanting to you know do things, all kinds of things with women. We want to drink. You want to party. You want to smoke. You want to be like that rapper over here that's got all this money and jewelry and fuck the world, you know what I mean? And we watch it and we want to be it. We watch these things and we want to be just like that. That's why these are the end days. Look at our society right now. What I mean? It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad, you know. But I'll get back to that. Jesus, Mari would always come outside. Mari would always come out every single morning. I'd even be woken up by her, you know what I mean? Screaming, Jesus! Screaming every morning, coming out her front door, just even if she had a bad night, even if she had a bad day, or, she just wasn't even feeling it that morning, she was still screaming and give him praise. And I don't know, it seemed cool to me, at first. I started coming outside and joining her. I'd be out, Jesus, waking her up, and it would make me feel good. It would put a big old smile on my face, and I was at my lowest, I felt like I had nobody no more, so all I had was myself. That's how I felt. I had myself, and I just told myself, just be you. Just be you, because if all these things are happening behind my back, then one day it's going to be brought to the light and you can move on with your life. Uh, anyways, I, I went to rehab. I went to rehab after all this. It was like July July 2016, and this is where everything really actually began. You know, I went to rehab and I only lasted 2 weeks. Only 2 weeks. I was supposed to stay there for like 90 days. 90 days, and I was hating that. I was hating the fact that I had to stay there for 90 days. I was missing everything, missing everyone. But I took a Bible, I took my grandma's Bible with me, the Living Bible, the Bible of the living God. That's what it is. And I started reading Revelations, and that's where I started with. I just wanted, I was interested in the Revelations because that's what my grandma was talking to me about. And as I read it, I started noticing it was like I was hearing a voice when I would read. Because, man, that's what they say. Like, I think Revelations is the book for all of us that we need to read, for us to actually tap into the hidden door, the secret, the truth, the Holy Spirit, for God to dwell in you and be you, and you accept Him to be inside you and help you out with everything. Well, anyways, I would read Revelations, and things, lines were being highlighted, certain scriptures, and it was like, is he talking to me? And I would just start getting this adrenaline, like I have happiness, because I was like how cool is that? You're reading a book and it starts coming to life. It starts coming to life, and it's speaking to you. No one else can hear it. You can't even hear it, but your thoughts kind of like highlight that, that what you just read, and it's like, for some reason that's important, like he's talking to you. So you get even more into it. You start reading pages and pages, and you start noticing a lot of things are getting highlighted. And it becomes fun. It becomes fun. The Bible is the basic instructions before leaving Earth. That's what I believe. The basic instructions before leaving Earth. Every single one of us should have a Bible in our hands. Everybody, every human on Earth should have the Bible in their hands. It's the living Bible, because the Word of God, it lives. The Word of God lives because that's the book that has the Word of God. And He speaks to you if you actually try. If you actually try and open up your heart and your mind, don't look at it like, oh, this is bullshit. Oh, bullshit. I don't know what any of this means, so I'm gonna keep on. I'm gonna just forget it, man. This is too hard. No, try it out. Start with Revelations. And then after that, try everything else. But everybody right now, nowadays, it is April 7th, 2017. Everybody right now needs to have a Bible, and they need to forgive me, Father. They need to read Revelations. Because we are living it right now. You know what I mean? Everybody thinks we're living high, mighty, and everything is all good. God's not going to be here for a long time. Because we live in America. That's why. Like, we have no clue about the other side of the world, what they're going through. They are going through tribulation. They've been going through tribulation, man, a lot of things we've all been missing. It's sad. It's scary. It's scary because God is about to be here, and He's about to show up like a thief in the night. You know what I mean? And we're going to be like, oh, like have no clue what to do when you see this thing falling on us. It's God's wrath. It's time to get it now. It's time to figure out who we are and who God is. Because our whole lives, we've ignored Him. We haven't given Him credit. Even if we said we did, we really didn't. You know what I mean? Anyways, I took a Bible, my grandma's Bible, to rehab. And I found this little crew. It was one dude, and he started it, and it started with just a little bit of us, but we'd always pray, every night before bed. But in the daytime, around when the sun went down, I would go by the serenity tree, by myself, and I felt some kind of awakening. some kind of calling, something so important about what I was doing with God, and trying to figure out, and start reading the Bible. There was something pulling me, literally, man. Like, and I would go to the tree and I would start reading, some pages, and things were still being highlighted, and I would stand up and feel the breeze rushing and blowing on my skin, my face, pushing me off balance, and it felt so good. It felt good, like it was him. It wasn't wind, it was him. It was the Lord. And I would stare at the sunset, and I'd start crying, you know, and I was like, why am I crying? Just wipe my tears. And I was just like, but I wasn't asking why am I crying. I knew why I was crying. It was because I was looking at him. Although I didn't see him, he was right there. Not the sun, but just like inside of me, in a way. It was so amazing. It's great. And I started praying for people. I started forgiving people that I believed that were doing bad behind my back. My friends, people that thought, had a relationship with my girlfriend, you know. Uh, I even was, making consumptions of, like, God, because my girl's stepfather, he had a stroke or a heart attack or something like that, and he got rushed to the hospital while I was in there, and I heard about it. So I went to the Serenity Tree and I started praying, and I started crying to the sky, and I was telling God, like, you can take me. Albert's Albert's a nice man. He's a good guy. You know what I mean? He doesn't deserve this. You know what I mean? Like if it helps, take my life. You know what I mean? Because I'm not that important. Take my life and keep him here. And I prayed for him so hard, and I was crying too, man. And uh, anyways, I started talking to people about God while I was in rehab. And a lot of people, and a lot of people had their thoughts, about there is no God and there is a God. I started hearing all of these different ways of looking at it. But then I started having dreams. I was having dreams. The first dream that I had, I was walking with my sister, and we were walking on the sidewalk, and there was a hotel, a very nice big hotel. And then I went inside of it. She stayed out, I think, but I went inside of it, and it was a nice lobby. You know what I mean? It was really nice and looked rich, and there was a person at the desk. And I walked to the elevator. As I got in the elevator, I pressed some buttons, and instead of going up and down, it went side to side, or like in and out, you know, instead of up and down, in and out. And when it went in, like sideways going inside, like uh, it opened, and I was in this cold, lonely hallway, and there was doors up against the hallway the whole way, and it was kind of like, diagonal. It was like a weird, like a maze of a weird hallway. I don't know, many doors. It was dark. I was by myself in there. There was nobody around. I think I heard noises on the other side of the doors. Uh, but yeah, I think I had enough of it, and I got back in the elevator, and it took me back. You know what I mean? Back to the, and then it opened, and I was in the regular hotel again. It was all nice again. There was a guy at the desk, and I walked out, and I was walking with my sister, and the whole world was just chaos. Everybody was just chaos. I think there was like fighting, there was flying, there was all kinds of destruction, you know. And what I got out of that dream, I started writing my dreams down on paper, because they were so weird and they were so odd. Like I wanted to remember them, think about it maybe. Uh, what I got out of that dream was when I went inside of that hotel. I was in the reality hotel that everybody else on Earth sees, but when I went in the elevator, it took me to the reality of the hotel, the inside of the hotel, the inside that nobody else can see but me. The inside of the hotel that nobody was in, or nobody had the pleasure of seeing, except me. That's why I was by myself there, and it took me back, and that's what I got out of it, man. Like that's why I'm woken up. This calling from God, this awakening, because it's true. There is awakening. You got to find it. You got to want it. You know. Uh, I had another dream. Maybe the next night. Honestly, man, I was having dream after dream after dream after dream. So much I thought I was being haunted, and I had to leave. I was so scared. But the second one was like I remember I was running, and it looked like maybe a trailer home or something, or a, maybe a pit. Honestly, this dream, it was like I was in hell. Your soul in hell. That's the reason why we walk around in depression or in so much hate. We want to suicide, and we have no love no more. You know what I mean? And we're really angry. And we just give up on life. Is because your soul is in hell, and Jesus Christ is the answer and the key. He's the light out of the darkness on everything. The abyss. That's what I was in. I was in the abyss, the bottomless pit. Maybe that, what I mean. Like I'm not. I've heard of the bottomless pit in Revelations, and maybe that's what I feel like I was in. I was walking around like a dead man. Dead man meaning like I had too many sins. I had so many sins that I had no God in my life. So I was walking and living in a dark life, a dark time. Jesus was that light out of the darkness. He showed me the way because I believed in him. I tried it. I had faith and I had hope. I didn't know if it was going to work. I didn't know what it meant to call on Jesus, but I did, and he showed me. It's love. Anyways, the second dream that I had, I remember I was running, and I think I dove into this small window, very small. And when you're running from a monster in your dream, and you start running in slow motion, but they're still going fast, you know what I mean? That's how it was. But I was diving, and I was slowly going through this window, and I believe there was somebody on the other side of that little small hole, and he was pulling me out. And I looked down behind me, and at my feet there were like maybe 10, 15 different demons. It was just they were evil, deformed faces. They were just, it looked like pudding, but you could see the eyes and the mouth and everything, and they were just scratching and screaming like don't let him go, don't let him go, like all of them just reaching for me, and I got pulled out of that window by Jesus Christ, or by Michael the angel. I don't know. Somebody saved me from hell. That was hell where I was in that dream. He saved me. And man, and I was taking naps also. I was taking naps in the daytime. There's classes in rehab. After our class, I would go take a nap on my bed really quick, 15 minutes, 20 minutes real quick. I started having out-of-body experiences, and that's like sleep paralysis, where you're paralyzed on your bed. You're paralyzed, but you could see what's going on in the room in a way. Your mind's awake, but your body's asleep, so you can't move, and while I was having these sleep paralysis, there would be I could see people walking, maybe even ghosts or spirits, the other side or something. That's what I believe it is. I believe it's the other side, the side that we can't see. There's more than meets the eye. You know what I mean? Um, this woman in white. There's a woman in white, and she was visiting me maybe like 3 nights in a row, 3 days in a row, with these naps in the daytime too, and like, and she would be sitting on me, or she'd be just right next to my bed, just sitting there watching me. And that's all I would see is a figure next to my bed. I couldn't move, and I started trying to wiggle my feet, wiggle my toes, so somebody could wake me up. And I would try to make noises, but I couldn't. And I tried with all my might, but straight paralyzed. And it starts feeling like you can't breathe. It starts feeling like you're losing oxygen. Um, but yeah, she kept visiting me, and I started talking to people about her, man, there's a woman in white that's visiting me, y'all. And people were saying that, dude, you're being haunted. I asked a dude that knew a lot about God. It seemed he kind of got me in to start praying with him. He told me, don't be scared. He said he said don't be scared. That is good. Whatever's happening whatever's happening to you right now, take it in. Take it in and accept it and believe it, and it's nothing but good coming to you. And I was just like, huh. And the last dream that I had with her, the last out of body experience with her, the woman in white, I was sleeping, and she was standing at my bed head, like over my head. And I remember she whispered in my ear like a number, a number, but she was saying like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or like 7, 11. She was saying it. It was like a date though. It was a date, but she said each number in a row. Just one number in a row. She didn't say no September or nothing like that. And I knew it was true. I didn't get the number, but when I woke up, right after she whispered in my ear, it echoed. It echoed as I opened my eyes, and I heard it echo still from her. And I knew it was real. I knew it was true. And I was like, just freaked out. And I don't know. I didn't stay there long after that. I think the last night that I was there, I had the dream. I was scared to go to bed in a room full of 15 dudes. You know what I mean? Scared to go to sleep. You know what I mean? But and I had a dream about. I woke up in the room, but there was nobody around. Nobody. It was empty, and I was by myself inside of the rehab where we slept. And there was an evil presence. There was something very scary that I was running from. I didn't know what. There was nothing there I was running from, but I was running from something. And I remember I went for the door, and all the drawers and the boxes went in front of the door, to block it, so I couldn't get out. And I remember I started climbing over the boxes. I was just, I finally got through though, and I started running at night. I was running in the open, and then there was like kind of like, I don't know, it seemed like maybe zombies or something behind me, chasing me from that room. Um, and out of nowhere, I start flying. I start flying, but I don't know. I don't think it was me flying. I think something picked me up from my back, picked me up, and then it was taking me home. It was flying me back home to my family and everything. So the next day, I woke up. We had a class, and it was a piece of paper with a door on it, and the assignment was, if you were to open this door, what would you want to see on the other side? And I drew Jesus. I drew Jesus, and on the side of Jesus was angels and my family, my friends, everybody that I've loved, and that loves me. They're all cheering for me, and just, so happy and like, yes, you did it. That's what the picture looked like, and it was just stairs. It was stairs after the door. You open it, it was the stairs up to Jesus, and he was at the top. And um, I started crying in class, and I got up and I left rehab. I called my sister. I packed everything. Everyone was trying to talk me not to go, but I had to. For some reason, I just had to. And I went home, and this experience never stopped. It never stopped. I mean, I would go to sleep, wake up, and everything is the same as what I'm experiencing. God, Jesus Christ, right here with me, right here inside of me, everywhere around me, everyone I see, everything I watch or hear, listen to. Yeah, I'm gonna continue this video. This is just the beginning of my experience. I'm probably gonna make 3 videos, to knock them all out, split them up, because there's more to it. It's very supernatural, and I just believe maybe this is the way I have to do it. I've been trying to warn everybody that Jesus Christ is coming. He's on his way. Just like the hundreds of people that are on YouTube saying the same thing, crying tears, and you can see it and hear it. In their heart, on their face, their expressions, man. Like, they're not faking it. Neither am I. Whatever this is right now, whatever is happening in these last days, Nibiru, Planet X is real. It's coming. I believe it's God's wrath, which means the Great Tribulation, and it's close. So in other words, where are we right now in Revelations? How far are we into this until we meet the end, and we actually come face to face with our Creator? And yeah, he has the last judgment. He's going to judge each and every one of us, one by one, go through our whole life. Everything makes sense. Everything does line up. The Bible is real, the Holy Bible. Jesus Christ is God. That's it. Jesus Christ. Don't believe nothing else. Don't believe no deception, man. And that's all the deception is for right now, because they know people are being waken up. Maybe the 144,000 that God wakes up with the seal of God on their forehead, because they're all good, because they're saved, but their flesh is here to warn the people that I'm coming now. I'm coming fast, because I can never be the same. I can never go back to how I was before I found God. I have to do this, because I love him so much. He's my everything. He is my everything. He saves. So believe it, try it out, and I'll catch you on the next video. All right, my name's Chris Hill. Thank you, everybody.